next up, we had a quick little promo. It wouldn't be a Dynamite without seeing the champ, Kenny Omega, and Don Callis here, and his gums flap for sure. But it was very powerful and short promo.
Yeah.
How Don Callis is like shooing Alex Marvez away and just telling him that they're constructing the Moxley extermination chamber. So this kind of methodical, interesting promos every week, man.
Yeah.
If Omega's not wrestling, he throws in these different promos. I mean, he was at the classroom, he's on the golf course, he's at the house with the curated water painting, with him and Doug. So I mean, he is definitely the creative. The mind is running at full steam with Kenny Omega right now, and it's fun to see what he's up to next. And this was a good way to really hype up the match, man. It's exciting.
They're building the ring. That's so cool. They're building it, and how does I want to know where Alex Marvez gets his tracker? Like, does he have Kenny on GPS or something? Because he always manages to find him wherever he is. But
that's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, how is he always find Kenny Omega in these random spots, the golf course, and he's showing up at school and all.
I mean, his house, I can understand that one, but the other stuff. I mean, man, like tonight, he's looking at some garage. How do you know where he was? Man, it was really funny though. Obviously, like you get to see Kenny doing he's funny when he's on the mic, and obviously Don Callis is a great mouthpiece as well. So,
true professional.
Combining those two, they're great. Again, I feel like AEW is doing such a great job of finding the right pieces for their talent. Team Taz, you see that with Team Taz. You see that with Kenny and Don Callis. You're starting to see that too. You're seeing Sting and Darby is probably going to be the same thing. And so they're finding a lot of, and I think that might happen with Paul White, coming in, Big Show, coming in, and you don't know what he's going to do yet. He's already going to be on their new Dark show, which is going to be pretty cool, but they said he's going to be in the ring as well. So I don't know if he's going to be a singles competitor, but again, he's a guy that's been in the business for 30 years. And, there's a lot he can add as a manager or as a mouthpiece for somebody. And I think that they're doing a really good job with that, just in general.
Yeah, Crayfish was talking to a few of the fans on Twitter today, and how every single veteran is paired up with essentially a young up and coming talent. I mean, Jake the Snake and Lance Archer, he's not an upcoming talent, he's established a talent, and we've talked about this on Friday Night Fights and stuff. But we love Jake the Snake, but Archer's at a point of his career where he doesn't need anyone else. Everybody dies, and he's just as massive. But it almost seemed like, I guess we'll talk about that more in depth about, Jake the Snake and Archer, but, MJF and Chris Jericho, Matt Hardy and all his clients right now, everybody. Paul White, where is he going to go, like adding the commentary. But I was reading on the press release, he's not ruling out like an in-ring match. And so does he just kind of have this Big Show solo run or whatever, or does he have some kind of mentor under him in a way? Which, who are some people that right off, I can't even think. Who would you pair up with Big Show with? Or excuse me, Paul White. We're going to call him Paul White.
Right. I mean, that's tough.
What up and coming talent do you think would need someone like that? I mean, like Varsity Blondes would benefit like tremendously with someone like that. But who else do you see that would benefit?
Just off the top of my head, I know we give him a lot of props as Camarado. I think he's a big guy, a big guy that has a lot of, he could be, he's not as tall as Big Show, but he's a very, big guy. And so you have him maybe be a mentee under Big Show. And then you can kind of be like, okay, you legitimize him a little bit with somebody like Paul White. Sorry. So yeah, I think that's a guy that could benefit, but there's more talent as well. Pretty much if you could find any big guy that can move and you can give him to Paul White for him to train or to just go out there with and be intimidating with, you could have some really good stuff with that, because everybody knows who he is. He's been in the business forever, dating back to WCW. He was in WCW as well. So we have, there's a ton of just background for him that you could just have him just really, really enhance somebody.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's like a smaller guy, who like, is there any Um, one of our comments said Paul White mentoring Marco Stunt could be funny. I know Marco Stunt was really fanboying out of Paul White, but
that'd be pretty cool, actually. I think that'd be kind of funny.
it's like the smallest and largest combo, Mini Me and Paul White. But that's something to ponder. I think we should revisit that on Friday Night Fights and Flight of like if Paul White were to take a tag or a T type of role, who do you see him pairing with? So I think we'll table that and we'll talk about that on Friday Night Flights of Fights. We'll let that digest a little.